Are we ready for another episode
of the Immigrant Show?
The Immigrant Show.
Since it's wartime in Europe, it's only proper for me to light up a cigarette.
Fucking American.
A cigar like General Patton.
Oh, like General Patton. General Patton Oswald? Is that what you're talking about?
No, that's a comedian.
Oh. I don't know who General Patton is. Because that'd be... Wait, is that the... Oh, no, that's a Ukrainian guy, right? No? Damn. I'm dumb.
He was an American.
Which one?
He was an American general.
Which American?
American general during World War II.
Yeah.
And he was known for his toughness. He was really tough. He used to say to his soldiers, like he used to beat them up because they gave up and shit.
What? That's...
Yeah. I don't know, actually.
Was he an asshole?
I mean, it's fucking wartime, yo. Like, assholes kind of needed at that time, you know?
Hold on. No. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, you need to be tougheroo. Yeah. Gotta think about this. It's war. You need assholes.
Listen, because there's some other assholes that are fighting on the other side. So you need your own assholes, too. You cannot... See, that's the thing, very rarely...
In what sense, though? Like, what do you mean you need assholes? For what? What specifically do you need an asshole for?
If you're gonna fight an asshole, you need some assholes on your side because they know how an asshole thinks.
You need to give me the specific other than this like whole general thing, this general sense of an asshole.
I did General Patton.
No, pendejo, not a specific general. I mean, in general, you're saying you need assholes. I'm saying, what is their role specifically?
In wartime?
Are you just saying like, yeah.
And to fuck shit up. They have no other purpose but to fuck shit up. Like for example, oh, by the way,
So
let's tell the people.
Just to send somebody just like,
yeah, General Sherman.
No, you need them. I mean, you need them to cause damage, but I don't think. But I think that
an asshole can cause the amount of damage needed to win the war.
I think as long as you're tactical about your shit, that you can. You don't necessarily need to be an asshole.
I don't know. I think I'm fucked up over here.
Take that.
Asshole.
You fucking asshole.
All right, let's do this.
All right, so welcome, guys. You know, we open up just a bunch of assholes talking about other assholes, who's the bigger asshole, and whether or not you need assholes to win wars and fight wars.
Yeah, and I'm a firm believer that you do need assholes to fight wars and to win wars. And you do need assholes to actually be on your side to carry out your agenda to win the war.
To carry out your agenda to be a war?
Carry out the agenda, not your agenda.
Okay, to carry out the agenda to win a war.
Yeah.
What specifically are the assholes doing other than just fucking shit up? Like, give me a specific. Like, are you saying that people can't be smart and not assholes, but still know that they have to take out certain targets? Do you have to be an asshole to do that?
I think you do, because if... Okay, so let's give a definition of what I define an asshole. An asshole is somebody that can go very easily and subscribe to the idea us versus them, right? In order for you to carry out a war successfully, your troops need to believe that the other people, or let me rephrase that, your leaders need to dehumanize the enemy to the point that your troops become assholes, right? Like, and not only that, but like the guy that's on top, like for example, General Patton, he was a very tough dude. I'm not saying he wasn't smart. I'm not saying anything like that. I'm saying that he had a particular type of leadership, and he did not like weak people. He did not like somebody. I think that there was a guy that was wounded There was a story of a guy wounded, right? Oh, I'm talking out of my ass currently, but whatever.
Hold on, slow down. All right. This conversation stemmed from the Patton guy, General Commander. What did you say?
Patton.
General Patton.
He was the tank commander.
Right. He was a tank commander in and
II.
I guess I'm the one that said he was an asshole. But I think that and what we were talking about just having people just going in there and causing damage, I think we may have conflated the two, because I think that, because I know very little about this guy, obviously, just from what you're telling me right now. I want to know more of the details of what he did, and I guess a little bit more time to decide whether or not I would consider him an asshole. Yeah, because otherwise, what you were describing before about you need somebody to make their troops believe that the other enemy is bad and whatever. I don't think you need to be an asshole. I just think that's an asshole, and in a way, that's quote the bad guy, because they're just trying to cause damage for the sake of being an asshole.
Oh no, they definitely have a purpose. And when I say purpose, like an agenda, right? That they're after. For example. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with me today. I guess it's because I gave up. Well, yeah, because I gave up weed for Lent.
Yeah.
I gave up all added sugars.
All added sugars?
Mm-hmm. Except alcohol. That was just one thing. Come on, man.
Fucking love the exceptions.
I mean... Dude, like, honestly, I haven't had a chocolate bar since Lent started. Like, nothing.
How many chocolate bars do you have?
I'll have like a little piece now and then. Like, not every day, but...
I guess I'm asking, like, how many chocolate pieces do you have? Is it, like, because... Is it an actual sacrifice? For example, if I were to be like, yo, I'll give it just a weird, dumb example. Dude, I'm gonna give up chicken nuggets for Lent.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I don't even eat chicken nuggets. I mean, I'll eat them every once in a while, but is it really giving something up if you don't eat them that often?
Well, everything. So I gave up all sweets with added sugar. So the only thing that I can have is like fruits, dates, like dried up dates. Just natural sugars. This cigar is not working out very well for me. But
is it a domestic cigar?
No, it's Romeo and Juliet. But there's like a big ass hole in the middle of it.
Oh shit!
I don't understand why. Like, look.
I'm no cigar expert, but that looks wrong.
I know, right?
Oh man!
I had it for a little bit.
It's an asshole.
There you go.
Sometimes a cigar is just an asshole.
True. So,
have you had this type of cigar before?
Yeah. They're very popular. Romeo and Juliet. But, I got it as a gift, which is very interesting because, like, it's right in the middle. And I was looking forward to smoking this cigar tonight.
Well, how do you feel
it doesn't pull.
Oh, that sucks.
It doesn't really pull, so it's like burning in a weird ass way. Which
all right, Romeo and Juliet, you guys got to keep your
yeah, they gotta
take a look at your cigars, because apparently they're very popular and they're really good.
They are,
or maybe the handling. Maybe I don't know. Like I said, I don't know anything about it. Did you do something to it? maybe you weren't supposed to.
But
are cigars are sensitive to temperature?
Yes, and humidity.
So it's like wine. You gotta like maintain them.
Yeah.
Can you age a cigar?
Mm-hmm.
What? For real?
A lot of people actually do age cigars.
How?
We can have somebody on the podcast that actually ages cigars.
Oh man, what does that do? Hold on. Does that mean that there's like living organisms in the cigar?
I mean, it is a tobacco, so it's like just like one is made out of a plant, right? Even though the one is made out of the fruit of the plant.
Yeah.
But this is made out of the leaves.
Yeah, but I
So-
just considered it being dead already. I figured like the reason why wine ages and stuff, it's because there's still some sort of life. You know,
I'm pretty sure there's some
yeah,
microorganisms living on on the surface. I mean, I don't know how micro they are or what type of organisms,
right.
but it's a really good cigar. It's medium body, and I'm letting up the wine open up a little bit. That's why I'm not talking about it yet, because with Zinfandels you have to let them breathe a little bit. You have to let them
For real?
sit a little. Yeah, they're very dry wines, and
So I got it. Because I want to test the hypothesis, because I think, remember last time when we opened up that bottle of wine that was fucking that you bought from Central years ago?
Yeah.
It was like
Yeah.
a Zinfandel blend.
yes.
I want to see if that's my type of, if that's the varietal that I can really enjoy. If not that all Zinfandels are the same, but it'll have similar characteristics, and from there I want to explore the Zinfandel universe a little bit more.
I have been a big fan of Zinfandels. What I really like about it is that it's very full body, but it's juicy. And like, there's no need to talk about it. We just drink about it,
Oh, don't
That's
talk about it. Just drink about it.
Just drink about
Yo,
it.
that's gonna be the banner in the back for the liquor store blues. Don't think about it. Just drink about it. Oh, synapse. Hey man,
Oh.
I'm like waiting for you. And shit.
I mean, I've been sipping,
Oh, for real?
but yeah,
Damn, I'm just all distracted.
yeah, for real. Cheers. Oh, this was a nice ring. So, since the last time we spoke, Putin invaded. See, that's what I don't understand, and I have a few things to talk about, especially
Zinfandels is where it's at.
right. It's
Hypothesis confirmed.
I'm glad. Zinfandel is a really good wine. Putin invaded Ukraine, right?
Oh yeah.
Which, by the way, I don't know if they're making his Zinfandel, so he might be safe over there. They do make a lot of wheat, though.
Who, the Russians or the Ukrainians?
Both.
For real?
Yeah, both are huge wheat producers. Russia produces a lot of precious metals and metals overall. So the price of nickel
Damn.
skyrocketed. Dude, the gasoline prices increasing are just the beginning. If now, I will be happy if Putin is actually wrong. So they see, that's the thing. The fact that 40-mile convoy or whatever, it's still stuck outside of Kiev, shows me that there was a lot of miscalculation / probably corruption.
Let's elaborate a little bit more. This 40. Pretend the people don't know anything about it. Especially being that it's on the other side of the globe, and a lot of the people are really just focused on the gas prices. That's the thing right now. It's like, oh my god, the gas.
No, I think I'll be honest. I've had people that usually talk about shit and supported Trump at one point, and I'm talking about Crazy Christine. She called me the crazy Italian lady that used to come to the liquor store.
Should we be putting people out like that? There you go.
There are a billion people with the name Christine. Probably.
Oh, this is true. And man.
Not a billion, but
No, I counted one.
So she called me. She was freaking out and this and that, and she was like, "What's wrong with Putin?" I think it's the idea of war in Europe that is so outrageous. Even though, there was a war in Europe as recent as 1999, which was the NATO versus Yugoslavia, right? So I think that's creating a lot of tension. But then at the same time, there's been war in Syria forever. There's been war in Afghanistan forever, which was another funny thing because, uh, the Taliban's, we were there for like 10 years, 2004 until, no, more than that, almost 20 years. Wow.
Yeah, no, so yeah, we just
No,
got
no,
out.
2001.
We just
So
got out.
yeah, so we were there for 20 fucking years.
Yeah.
And these motherfuckers took everything back in a matter of days. I don't even want to say weeks because that could be overstating it.
Bro.
But the second the Americans were like, yeah, we're leaving, the Taliban's just boom, 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 boom. Which is, so, we don't think about that as a war, right? Even though it is. But you know what I realized? We don't think about it because they nobody from Afghanistan with a Facebook on, live feed of Americans and shit like that. And even if there were, it's not, whatchamacallit, it's not popularized here. But in Ukraine, they are a second world country in a way, right? Like they are part of Europe. They do have internet access, and it was surprising how people got divided, especially throughout Europe, pro and anti-Putin, pro and anti-NATO, and all that shit. And what Putin did might have been a bad move. I don't know. We will see. Because now, they're like
He's
United
killing a lot of
States.
people.
Huh?
He's killing a lot of people. A lot of innocent people. So I think it's a bad move on that.
I mean, yeah, but he doesn't give a flying fuck. Like, I understand if you're like, oh yeah, he's killing a lot of innocent people, but he doesn't give a fuck. He's an asshole. That's what we're saying, that there's a certain type of things that only an asshole can do.
Wait. I was just referencing your the way what you said was that we're gonna see if what he did was a bad move. I'm saying that yes, it was a bad move because he's killing a lot of people. So that
It's a bad
innately
move
is-
because you're looking at
yeah.
it from the point of view of compassion.
look
Right?
at the point of view of life.
Well, yeah, that's compassion. You have to.
I think what difference does it make? It's
Dude, in
it's
Russia-
life.
No.
Life is life. You're killing people.
That's what you think. Like, Russians have a little different idea about life.
They can disagree, but life matters because people are individuals, and if you kill somebody, that's not okay. The Russians, or I'm not even going to say the Russians because that's such a general term, and I don't want to speak for I don't want to generalize, but if you think that killing innocent people it's not wrong or anything, then you're just factually wrong. You're just factually
Not
incorrect.
that it's not wrong, that some people don't care.
I agree. Some people
So-
don't care. It's still like I'm not arguing. I'm just saying it in the general sense. Killing people, innocent people, is bad.
Yeah,
I'm
but
not.
he
I'm
doesn't
not.
give
I'm
a
not,
fuck, but that's what I'm trying to
I'm
say.
not arguing whether or not he thinks it's
Yeah,
right,
yeah,
is right
correct.
or wrong. Like he could think whatever he wants.
What I'm saying
Him
is that,
killing
like,
people is wrong.
correct, but he's not a dumbass, right? So from his point of view as a regime, because Putin is a regime. Now, Putin has been killing people since he came to power. And everybody was like, hey, haha, yeah, he got another one.
People disappear. Yeah.
Like,
we've joked about it on
Yeah,
this
exactly.
fucking podcast. Like, yes, like, oh,
Yeah,
you want to fuck with him? Yeah.
You kind of like wake up dead, you know? So that's what I'm saying. Like, he, like, as a regime, I understand what he did and why he did it. Because in order for him to be in power, right? And then there's, because if you like look at the NATO nations, right? They're legitimately knocking on his front door. Now, for him, it is not dangerous more of the military action, but the access to information that those countries provide. Because it's very hard for you to limit transactions between, let's say, if Ukraine was neutral, you don't have to allow people to go further in. But if it's your next door neighbor, it's very hard for you to control and to retain power, especially if you're that type of regime where every single opponent, or at least every single opponent that gave you a good challenge, is either dead or in jail. I mean, dude, he jailed the Pussycat riots.
Yeah. Oh,
right?
yeah.
Like this is the type of mentality that this person has. He's not even a person, this dude, right? Because like at the end of the day, I understand.
I guess I'm not sure what you're arguing.
I'm not arguing anything. I'm just explaining. Like why? Like I'm explaining what's going on in Ukraine through my point of view.
Got it.
You know, when people try to condemn him, I'm like, yeah, he is all about condemnation, you know. But again, that's all the West does. Oh, we condemn this action and we this and this. And meanwhile, these motherfuckers buying up oil from him like it's another thing. And it's so stupid because, like, you morons. Like Germany, for example, the way that the U.S. banned oil imports from Russia, Germany said that they're not going to do that. Because if they do that, they're fucked. They're legitimately fucked. Like, there is no other way about it. Russia is their gas station. That's it. That's how they... But see, that's the fucked up part. That's how they and the West... When I said the West, the Western European countries, that's how they did their economies. They were like, yeah, Putin, you know, he did a couple of things in Chechnya, installed a dummy government over there with a dummy leader, and like that. I don't know if we talked about it on this podcast, but Razman Kadyrov, this motherfucker is a fucking war criminal. Well, no, not a war criminal. I mean, he did some good shit. Like he fought some terrorists in Chechnya and shit. But he's not a really good person either. You know, like, he is the type of dude that went out on international TV and said, there are no gay people in my country. He said that. And I'm like, okay, it's a little bit higher statistically probability than that, but okay. I mean, and it's a country of like a few million people.
Right.
You know?
Dude, isn't that wild? Because this thing with Ukraine, like, it makes me think about Taiwan as well, with China, you know. You have these two places where they just want to, you know, like, they just want to live. They're comfortable there. It's like we're independent. But then you have this fucking big ass tumor that's like right there. It's like, hey, you know,
yeah,
you know, that's like,
dude, again, assholes,
just
like the schoolyard bully,
bananas, man.
That's why, dude. That's why in you know,
how do you handle that bully? Like, how do you deal with that bully?
The only way you know how to.
Fuck them up.
Well, you can't really do that because then, dude, China would just build bridges of dead bodies and send tractors.
Bro, you know what's weird? You know what's weird? I'm like, all this time, I'm straight up thinking, I was like, bro, like, at least I haven't heard anything from them. I was like, bro, I'm just waiting for that fucking card to be dropped. Boom.
Yeah. And there's nothing we can do about it.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, fuck, now we're fucked.
I mean, what can you do?
Oh, no. Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm just like...
You gave them all the power.
The right. Yeah, bro. Oh, man.
Like, you gave them all the power for... And look, China is China, right? Now, there was a very good documentary about China and the Chinese Communist Party and the things they actually did. Because they did a lot of good. Like, that's what people don't understand. That as bad as communism could be, a lot of times it could do a lot of good. Like they were saying that they didn't have schools and stuff like that. So when the founder, it was not Mao Zedong, it was somebody else after him. When he came to power, he educated like everybody. Like the poor villager was able to actually send their kids to school. I have to find the link to this documentary
Yeah, that'd be cool.
and
Really
send
cool.
it to you, because I understood it. Because that dude had a vision of the Chinese, and he was like, you know what, that shit ain't gonna happen in 5 years, that shit ain't gonna happen in 10 years. That shit is gonna happen in 10 generations. But within, or not 10 generations, but like 3 or 4 generations. But by then, he goes, I guarantee you will be a superpower. And you know what? I mean, they did it. Even though right now, it's very funny because the Russian army is using Chinese tires for their military vehicles, and those tires are failing left and right.
Oh,
And
shit, for real.
yeah, and he did it. Like, he educated people, he gave them engineering jobs, and then the assholes over here, instead of paying a little bit more and being self-sustainable, they're like, oh, we can move the production over there, man, and you gotta pay them like $3 a day, and it makes. In the short term, it makes total economic sense.
Oh, yes. Yes.
When I say in the short term, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, it makes total economic sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
But other than that, it's just shit. Like, oh, motherfucker, no, you need to work. You need to be self-sustainable. You need to understand. Like, that's why when people start talking about immigration over here, and like, yeah, no, even the founding fathers were immigrants, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yes and no. Yes, they were immigrants, but they came over here and they fucked shit up. Right? Like, to the point where they actually created something out of whatever. Like, it takes a... It takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of effort to be able to displace somebody. Right?
What does that have to do with immigration? What?
No, because I was going to say that's why I believe that there should be certain immigration laws and shit like that, and only the best of the best from other poorer countries should come here. Well, not here, but immigration. Like, dude, go to Canada. Like, people are fucking
Only
talking...
the best of the best should be allowed to go to a country?
Yeah, to immigrate to a country. Not refugees. They're two different things.
What do you define as the best?
Doctors, engineers, like educated people. Masons, workers.
So somebody that's not one of those things but wants to better their life, they can't come?
They can. It's just going to be very hard for them. Because...
That's not cool, man.
Well, yeah, but what are you
Gotta
going to
have
do?
equal opportunity, bro.
Yeah, but what are you going to do with the dumbasses over here?
What do you mean? The dumbasses that are already here?
Yeah.
Send them away. Yeah, you want
Ship them. Like,
a dumbass for a dumbass, a genius for a genius, you know?
yeah, no, that's not going to happen. But
Man.
that's so what Putin did is very interesting, because I wasn't expecting that type of move. But now I want to see how he's going to adjust.
We were talking about this, about like we were talking about it when you were talking about the that movie. We were talking about Space Force.
Oh yeah.
It was like, and then boom, then we got this fucking shit. I was like, oh man, yo, it's wild what's happening. But like, I'm not gonna lie, those fucking Ukrainians, man.
It's not just them.
They're fucking shit up, bro.
It's not just them.
Yeah.
There's a lot of... I think there are a lot of unknowns. For example, the Chinese tires. So there are a few photos. I'll try to post them over here, right? But you see the vehicle just with fucked up tires. And then somebody who is a tire expert actually... Now, a tire expert actually compared the tires. And he was like, well, this is a Chinese-made tire. That is a copy of Michelin military tire. but the Chinese style just cannot stand because it's made cheaply. Like that's another thing I was gonna say, that the Chinese government, right, and the Chinese products, they're extremely good at imitating.
Right.
They're like to the point where once
I've heard this also. Yeah.
like once you get that shit, like my friend, he had bought a Chinese night vision goggles.
Can get comfortable.
Yeah. He bought a Chinese night vision goggles that were copy from these European ones. And he goes, yo, the quality is amazing, this and that, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, this is interesting. So he was like, it's not even worth to buy the European shit because the European shit costs like 10 times more. But reliability-wise, dude, you can... If you make a painting, right? If you make like whatever you... Like the little dude you're wearing on your shirt.
Little dude.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I can copy that to the point where, it would look pretty good the same. Like pretty the same. Mm-hmm. But once I print it, it's going to look like shit. That's exactly what the Chinese are doing. It's not like they're innovating.
His name is Billy.
Billy? Nice. I like that. So it's going to be very interesting because, yeah, it sucks what's happening to those people in Ukraine. It sucks that another country or another developed country invaded a developing country invaded another developing country. But at the end of the day, it's like they're two different ideas fighting, right? And I don't know how familiar you are with the war, because right now, the Russian military, there were reports that they were actually self-sabotaging or they were giving themselves up to Ukrainians and shit like that. Because they're very close as people, right? As a race, they're very close because they're Slavics.
Yeah.
Like they're Slavs, both of them. So, they all squat, they all wear fucking Adidas.
It's literally an imaginary line drawn on a fucking circle of people. Mm-hmm. Yeah, dude.
Mm. And that's creates
that's so fucked up.
Like that creates some hesitation. that does create some hesitation on the Russian army side. So there've been reports where and that's when you don't know who to trust, because there've been reports saying that the provisions were not enough, that the gasoline was not enough, that the military vehicles were failing and shit like that.
Right.
And then there was other reports that Russian soldiers were self-sabotaging because they didn't want to go and kill their fucking neighbor, directly. So
did you see that video with that guy? I think Joe Rogan shared it with the guy that's calling his mom. He's like, it's basically this. It says you gotta watch this because obviously I don't understand the language, but you have the translations, and it's this captured Russian soldier being fed and given the opportunity to call his mom from in Russia and be like, we fucked up, I shouldn't be here, I'm apologizing and all this shit. But there's also been fucking reports that in Russia that their citizens, they protested, but then fucking the fucking Russian police officers just fucking arrested them, boom, 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 and also that they fucking shut down. They shut down their fucking Facebook.
Oh yeah,
they fucking shut down all their media. The only media that they're getting right now is state media, straight up. The Russian people are only getting state media, bro. And so that's bananas, because there's also Russian people that are saying there's an alleged report of a of a person calling their parent in Russia and being like, "Yo, this is fucked up," like what they're doing is messed up, and the parents living in Russia are not believing them. They're like, "No, you're just lying. That's not really what's happening.
That is hilarious.
They're attacking us." Like some shit like that, bro.
That is hilarious.
Like, bro, oh man.
But see, even after the end of the Cold War, which was one of the most frightening times in human history, we came extremely close. Man, I forgot their names. There were two Russian military members. I think they were high-ranking officers that actually prevented nuclear war because one of them, man, I should have done my homework and actually said their names here because very important people.
Well, they'll be here. Just send me the names.
I will. We'll post them like right there. These people, like one of them, basically. So one of the guys saw heat signatures of nuclear missiles being fired from the United States towards Russia, but there were only 5 of them. And this dude had enough brain cells and enough confidence to say, well, if the United States is going to go on nuclear war on us, why would they only send 5 rockets? So he held off the response.
Ooh.
And then it just turned out that it was a system glitch. Like that is like and I honestly think, like, I don't know if you remember back in the day, Joe Rogan had this joke about dumb people out fucking the smart people, right? Because the smart person is over there like reading books. Yeah, I think like we live in that place now.
Yeah, bro.
Like, and it's scary. It is scary,
dude. Oh man, it's funny because like yeah, that's these are people that, well, not these. I just feel like people just want to live,
Some people want to fuck shit up.
Yeah, but I generally think that the people that just want to live heavily outpopulate the people that just want to fuck shit up. I like to think that. Like I guess I have no no actual facts right now.
No.
But like
I
think that
you do have facts. We still, till this day, we still live in the most peaceful time and the most prosperous time that Earth or human race has ever known.
Yeah.
There are less wars. They're like, now, if you're gonna go and tell me, yeah, but there's war in Ukraine, yeah, but there's war,
right, yeah, no,
like,
I got you, yeah.
And compared to what? Like,
yeah, and let's be real with that. It's like, yes, there's always but what about this? Like, yes, but still, in the general sense of things,
so there's actually very good support to your claim. But there's just some people that want to fuck shit up.
Yeah, bro.
I mean, dude, if North Korea can still exist till this day,
bro,
and I don't know what their population is, but it's a shit ton of fucking people, and they are okay with it, dude. Like,
they've also and this also kind of ties to that other thing about fucking personal responsibilities. Like, these people, in a way, have been like programmed. Or they're been told that their freaking dictator is a literal god, They think that this, so they fucking worship this person.
Well,
and the people that that are smart enough to be like, this is fucked up. They have 2 options: either fucking just sit there and fucking take it, or fucking risk leaving and dying. Like, literally. So if you try to leave, man.
Actually, I think that it's not who is smart or who is dumb, but it's the access to information. One of the biggest things to make you smarter is your access to information. One of the biggest reasons why you can make reasonable choices is access to information. Now, if there's somebody that cuts that access, Putin, Kim Jong Un. What's his name?
Kim Jong Un, I think. Yeah.
Kim Jong Un. Like, and on top of that, he's Western educated. I wonder what he like.
Yeah.
You know what? I really do wonder. But then again, like, dude, not for nothing, but if I was in his spot, I don't think I would want to give up that power. It will be really, really, really hard for me to give that
taking
up.
people out, bro. Would you be able to take people out if somebody wants to leave your freaking country to maintain power? Could you?
It's not me taking them out. It's somebody else.
It's by your command.
It's not. I mean,
What do you, yeah, it is.
Yeah, but I'm not the one doing the killing. I'm not the one doing the killing. So you do have this dissociation,
right?
Where it's like you're not the one doing the killing, and
So you'd be able to like, hey, go. Them's the rules. You broke the rules. You gotta die.
If that's my rule and you disobey,
would you make that rule?
And I'm hold on, I don't know. Most likely, if I'm in his shoes, yeah. Most likely, yeah.
This George right now, I'm not saying if you live through his life and gain the power. That's what I'm saying. That's what I mean. Like you for like right now.
That would be a very, very hard thing
for some fucking way of the universe. In 5 years, you find yourself somehow a ruler of your own fucking country.
Let's say I rule the United States. I would shoot anybody that goes to Mexico.
if you rolled the United States?
If I ruled the United States, dude, border with Mexico would be shut down. My guns will be pointed towards my own people. Ain't nobody gonna taste the taco ever again. I would be like, dude, I'm gonna make the myth of the taco.
Oh shit! You're gonna have people putting Mexican tacos on their Santa list.
Yeah. So I'll tell you. It depends of the repercussions that I will face if I am taking out of power. I think that's one of the reasons why leaders are so and dictators are actually so ruthless. Not leaders, but dictators are so ruthless because their fucking life depends on it. Like, it's weird, but it's the truth. Like, dude, what do you think is gonna happen?
You don't think if Kim Jong Un was like, all right, guys, I just smoked a lot of weed with Tommy Chong and Snoop Dogg. You know what? I don't want to kill anybody anymore. I'm free to trade with everybody else.
He hung out with Dennis Rodman. And
hold on. Yeah, I know that. But like I'm saying, and he decides, he's like, you know what? I want to be part of Western society.
He would face crimes against humanity. That part of Western society would fucking put him into a hole. Because see, we like to think about ourselves of these progressive people, these forward thinkers that are the Westerners. Bro, go to a fucking Supermax. See how fun that shit is.
A Supermax? What's a Supermax?
Supermax prison. That's where they fucking keep El Chapo and shit like that. They'll put you down in a fucking hole and they'll forget about you. And as a person and as a dictator, that's your biggest fear. That is your biggest fear.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, but hold up, because the person, like fucking my guy Channel 69, he was facing some prison time, but then he was like, hey, but if I give you this, I get to go free, right? That's what I'm saying. So like, if Kim Jong Un,
they will kill him, dude. They would kill him.
If my dude was like, if he was caught right now, it's like, yeah, fuck that motherfucker, they'll kill him. But if he's like, hey guys, my bad, I want to be part of the team.
They'll kill him. I guarantee you, dude. They fucking got all the high-ranking Nazis in Argentina. They will fucking kill him.
Yeah.
Like, you don't think that there are people out there with grudges? Because all of a sudden you change your mind and now you're one of the cool guys? Dude, like these motherfuckers, like look at the Nazis,
Yeah.
right? Look at like, dude, Mossad went and that is one of the best examples, and that's why like
Someone became scientists. The smart ones. Oh man!
But dude, there were so many. I forgot what was the name of the operation.
So maybe he's a genius.
They went to Argentina.
They'll hire him.
Who? Oh,
King Jong-un.
they went to Argentina. They fucking captured every single Nazi they can fucking lay their hands on, and either killed them or extradited them to fucking Israel, where they killed them. Like, like these. So as a person, and as a person that wants to survive, because I believe that is, at the end, this is your ultimate goal. Your ultimate goal is not to do good. Is not none of that. It's survival. And if that type of grip on a bunch of people guarantees your survival, you will do it. The only other thing that you might have gotten away is when he came to power and he was like, nah, fuck that, man. Like, I
right. At the beginning.
And even then, I think that they'll get to him. So in order for
but the punishment wouldn't be as severe, but I hear what you're saying. Yeah.
Right? So just like Mossad did to the Nazis, that would be done to Putin, that would be done to Kim Jong-un, that would be done to any dictator that gives up that power. Because, and you know what? Like the power is not power of control, but it's power of fear, right? Because you said they think of him as God.
Mm-hmm.
You know what the best thing, like it was very, I forgot who said that. It was another documentary that I was watching about the Cold War. And the guy was like, well, we didn't fight the Cold War properly. He goes, what you couldn't do in places like that, right? It's self-expression. He goes, we should have just dropped like a bunch of like muscle cars and American cars over there. Like, oh, you want to drive a Cadillac? Because that's who you are? Yeah, here, go. Over there, it's like, no, you have the same car in 3 different color variations, and that's it. Like, self-expression.
Yeah.
Dude, my dad got in trouble at school because he had long hair, like a little bit, just as long as yours.
What?
Yeah.
Like
he had to, he couldn't attend because in the morning they had like a count or whatever. He couldn't attend that. He had to sneak into school. Like he couldn't attend classes, but that count because then the principal would be like, oh no, fuck you, go cut your hair. I think a few times they sent him home.
Was it like a religious school or was it just like regular school?
Regular school.
Diablo.
Fucking listening to the Beatles was illegal.
The fucking Beatles, bro.
The Beatles. Well, also we're talking about like the 70s,
yeah, that's true.
right?
That's
like,
true. Fucking hippies. Yeah.
So, like that's what I'm saying. Like it's very, once you start doing this, limiting the access
This
to information,
dictator game.
Then it becomes now. It also over here. This is how we should start the podcast today. Today, we should really talk about two major themes: wars and politics in general. Because to tell me that, our politicians are not like that, that's not fair too, because they are. I mean, Nancy Pelosi outright said that it's okay for lawmakers and their wives or direct relatives to trade stocks because we just have to disclose them when you make the laws. I mean, it's gonna be very fucking easy for me to, if I want to ban Facebook, to short Facebook today, and 3 months from now I push my legislation and Facebook is banned, and the company is gonna go pew. Dude, there are actually people that follow Nancy Pelosi for stock tips.
Yeah.
Come on. Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah.
So, I'm not going to say that she's a dictator,
Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah.
But she kind of is a dictator. Dude,
I
that
don't-
lady, that lady's been in politics. Biden has been in politics.
Yo, that's
Forever.
like that's what I'm saying. What would it take, for us to replace them if
What do you
they've
mean
been
to
on?
replace them?
I mean, get rid of them. You know, what is that? What is that? Can you just vote them out? Can we just, as people of supposedly free state, be like, hey, fuck you?
You would need a lot of people. No. And I'll tell you why.
Please do.
It is so hard for a human being to exist nowadays that politics most of the time is in the back of their mind. Nobody's gonna go and like do the proper research needed to see how you're gonna implement those policies that you promise, how you're gonna do that, how you're gonna do that. Like, I don't know if you know, but like, dude, they're like pimps, man. They're like, yeah. Cat Williams had a joke about that.
What do you mean? What do you mean? The average voter, like, do you mean is in the back of their head, like they don't pay attention to politics? Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely, they don't pay attention. They pay attention to news, but they don't pay attention to politics.
Right,
And it's very hard for
right.
you to read a 3,000 fucking page bill that they want to push.
That's what I agree. But I think so. Then let's get some local people that start to be more like you, and then start voting them into higher and higher offices. I think I'm not saying it could be like an overnight thing, but I think that over time,
Yeah, but
we could replace them.
What does the person in New York? What does your problem here, living in New York State, have to do with the problem that somebody in Tennessee is facing, or in Arizona?
I'm not saying that we have the same problem. I'm just saying they still participate in the participate just in the general election. I think that we can all agree, left, right, middle, or in whatever side you want to pick, that we need to get these motherfuckers off. I don't think that.
Yeah, but they kind of been doing a
that.
good job, no? I mean, the economy is doing better compared to like 60 years ago, right? The wealth is more compared to 60 years ago. I'm not saying that it's distributed equally. I'm saying that it's more, right? The ability to move between classes, income classes, right now is way easier if you're smart than it was
So do you
60 years ago. So
Yeah,
I don't think
so
that
yeah.
people have that mental capacity to be like, you know what, I would much rather have the opportunity to make a lot less than
No, hold on. Well, what does that have to do with replacing a representative? I'm just saying, like, do you not think that we could still progress and have this same lifestyle in that you can move up and down, and down is easy, but I guess move up in class if we had a different representative that wasn't a fucking stock
no, that's not what I'm
an
saying.
asshole?
Yeah, no. That's
Okay,
like,
'cause
I do believe that is just, but the average person doesn't think about that.
Right,
It takes
right,
too
right,
much
right,
time
right.
to think about that. If you start thinking about,
I mean, I feel like if you start small, if you start thinking about one thing that affects you in your community, you know, I think that's enough. You know, like one thing per person or whatever. But like, this kind of goes to a thing that we have to trust each other a little bit more. And I know it's tough. And as a person that, you know, that I encourage skepticism, there has to come a point to where there's certain sources that you can trust. Kind of like how we mentioned before about having like if you're on a show and you're not factual news, like have a disclaimer at the bottom, you know, just so like people know to trust a fucking source. Like it's a fucking would you call this a paradox? I think we call this a paradox. Like,
Yeah, because
it's wild. Because it really would take us to just fucking trust each other and be freaking like, hey, nobody.
So why wouldn't you trust Nancy?
Huh?
Why wouldn't you trust Nancy if she's doing such a good job for the past like whatever years she was in office?
But she's also doing insider trading. So she's clearly not trustworthy. You know, like I'm grateful that about the other stuff, but you're still doing that thing you're not supposed to be doing, and then meanwhile trying to bitch out people for not paying taxes and shit. You know.
Yeah, I don't know.
You know
It's a very complex. It's a very complex matter. It is really complex matter.
Oh man, I don't think it's. Maybe I'm being naive, but I don't think it's that complex. I think it's just like, hey, that thing right there. I don't care about anything else. Just that one thing right there. Stop. Okay, cool. Bye.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I mean. I'm like,
because again, the average person doesn't give a flying fuck.
Hey, you. Start giving a flying fuck.
Like,
I'm telling you to.
Dude, like, people nowadays, and, I'm judging by myself and by people like my fiance, people like my mom.
I thought you said
dad.
Beyonce.
No, not Beyonce.
Shit about Beyonce.
Hey, listen, I actually watched the Pink Panther yesterday, and Beyonce was in it, the 2006 Pink Panther.
Panther.
With Steve Martin.
Oh, was it good?
Yeah, it's funny.
Oh, nice.
Just silly humor.
Yeah, yeah.
So
he still got it. Oh wait, it's 2006. You said.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So, like, I didn't say Beyonce. I said fiance. But yeah, I saw Beyonce yesterday. She was young.
Yeah, I think we were all younger. For what was that? 15 years ago.
Yeah, 2006.
Oh shit, 60 years ago.
So, I think that the average person is just too. It's also, I think that the average person does fill up their time with a lot of bullshit, but like Instagram, Facebook, CNN, Fox News, CNBC, NBC, whatever, movies, films, because it's very easy to get happy and be confident if you don't know shit. Like, the more you know, the more
that's why I'm not confident.
you start questioning shit, like not only shit but yourself.
I'm very insecure.
So it is a give or take. I don't know, man. Like, it's gonna be interesting, because like I do think that, for example, one of the things that I hate the most are those feel good 7-second Instagram, TikTok videos. Like, dude, I'll tell you, people, you know what? I'm curious. I want to see how much time the average person spends per day on silly apps like TikTok, Facebook, shit like that. I
wonder if we could look it up. But I
can tell you how much I spend. About 2 hours.
Maybe everything combined or each?
No, everything. If I was spending it on each, man, I'll be out of a job. Right. I wouldn't know shit.
I got to discipline myself with this shit. Facebook gets 2 hours. All right, I'm done with Facebook. Instagram, next.
Yeah.
Hold on. But what 6-second videos? Give me specific.
Nah, just anything. A cat jumping up, playing around, shit like that. Like, dude, I kid you not.
Some cats are awesome. All dogs are awesome.
Yeah, that's true. So
yeah, I said it.
Judging by myself, I actually put a time limit on my phone, where apps like Facebook. Well, I don't have Facebook. But
your iPhone,
Instagram, right? Yeah, Instagram, LinkedIn, all those apps, all the websites. Yeah.
How much time do you spend on LinkedIn? What's there to be on LinkedIn?
I mean, you're looking for jobs. You're looking for like different qualifications that you can get.
I think that's a good app to be on then.
Not really, because there's a lot of bullshit on there too.
That's what I mean. Like, what's the bullshit in LinkedIn? What?
Dude,
is it becoming like Facebook now?
Yeah, but for like the corporate world. So like, it's the corporate world Facebook, where you're like, oh,
So
I'm
you
very
have a bunch of
happy.
CEOs.
You're like, I'm very happy
Fucking
to announce that
nerds.
I'm starting this position.
Oh, probably are nerds, right?
Yeah, dude, there was one guy. Oh my god, I have to send you this. There was a guy that he was like in his LinkedIn post. He was like, "Yeah, I promised myself to become a CPA at the age of 15, and now at the age of 23 or whatever the fuck he was, I have passed all the 4 parts of the CPA exam." And I'm like, that's fucking bullshit. But I read the whole post because I was like, no, there cannot be somebody like that. And there is somebody like that. So it's weird. It is really fucking weird. Like, you should get on LinkedIn.
No, it sounds terrible.
No, you should. Because then we can make you a profile. Oh, yeah. We can make you a profile. And then we can, like, work you up. Like, let's say from a bartender to, like, you became a restaurant manager. And then from restaurant manager, you finished a bullshit-ass school that nobody's going to check. Let's say, I don't know, bullshit-ass school, DeVry University. and then from DeVry, right? So you went to DeVry and you got yourself a business administration, and then you went to work. Like, I just want you to put shit, and dude, you would be amazed. And like, we'll work you up to like a CFO of some like company that doesn't exist. Dude,
I like it.
Ooh, that could be a good social experiment for the Immigrant Show.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah. And all of a sudden, like, people are buzzing me. You know, it's like, hey, you want a job?
Dude, I guarantee you, you'll be contacted by recruiters, but by all that shit. And it's like, it's not bad, but it's hilarious because that's how, you know, I spend 2 hours a day on like all those apps. And then here and there, like every let's say every like 5 minutes out of the hour that I worked, I'll take a break and I'll go on Yahoo and like check dumbass comments and shit like that. But that's like another 3 hours.
Yeah, Yahoo.
Yahoo.
What the fuck's on Yahoo? What comments on Yahoo?
Yeah, you have finance section where people comment on the stocks and shit like that. You have, you know, it's bullshit. I know it's bullshit. But I enjoy how retarded people are. Like, dude, there is a company. There is a company, Actinium Pharmaceuticals. I was invested in this company in 2015, 2016, that time frame. Like late 2015, early 2016. That company has done nothing but lose money for the past 7 years. Like, just lose. Like 20 million a year.
Hold on, that's wild. Imagine having being so rich that you can afford to lose money for 7 years.
Oh, there are people like that.
That is
they're
bananas.
not rich. They're not rich. So you go to Yahoo, and you can read their comments. Yes, it is. Hold on. It is early stage biotech company, right? They don't have any. They don't sell any products yet. They're still working on some shit.
Right. So it's just like keeps doing this.
Yeah, but you know what the best part is? Their stock at one point was like, after all the stock splits and shit like that they did, their stock at like one point was like $300 a share or some shit like that, right? Supposedly. But because what they do is that they issue shares. So let's say they issue like 10 million shares, right? The share goes down below $1. Now they do a reverse split for each 30 shares that you have. You get one new share. That brings up the stock price up, right? So now instead of $1, now it's worth $5, but you have only one share at $5 versus 20 share or 30 shares at like less than $1. And then they go to the SEC and they're like, oh no, we need more money for research and shit like that. Like, it's very, very interesting. Like, you can actually keep yourself perpetually wealthy by just opening up a company like that, doing this shit and never declaring bankruptcy. And the people on Yahoo are fucking hilarious.
What is that?
Oh yeah, now next year, the year after, dude, like, their study was supposed to be done in 2017, I want to say, 2018, the phase 3 study. It's been 7 years since that phase 3 study has been going on. And people on Yahoo will tell you that they're buying shares. If you tell them that the company is worthless, they're going to be like, you're an idiot, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, you guys, like, you don't understand. What you're telling me, they have been telling me for the past 7 years. You're not telling me anything new.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's fully staffed. So we have to put some information. I'll give you some information. It is like...
But you got to point out the actual idiots, because I don't.
You would notice in the comment section. You would not like
comment sections be funny, man. Like, oh, dude,
I cannot trust it, but it's entertaining.
Yeah,
but that's how much time I waste on that bullshit. Like, so that's what I'm saying. Like, and you know what? If I stop it, right? But there's no way avoiding it, because, like, I would read an article. And then I'm like, oh, let me see what the other people think about this.
No,
it's just like
I have that reflex as well. I didn't know that you could leave comments on articles. Is that a strictly a Yahoo thing?
I guess. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Back in the day, they used to be able to leave on every article, but since Verizon bought them, they're like, to create safe space for our readers.
Oh man, that's
now some people used to get nasty.
Yeah, that's
like they'll come after your mama, your cousin. They'll tell you how retarded your cousin is.
My mother is not a whore. Like, bro, it's a fucking it's the interweb. They can't get you. Is that real?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Actually, another thing that I found out. It's a very interesting YouTube channel. It's called Soft White Underbelly. It has interviews with certain people. Like, he had interviews with this inbred people, and it was very, very disturbing.
In like
West Virginia.
It was like a busted ass house.
Yes.
And they're like following this like one particular guy. He's like,
Yep, him.
Bro, I saw that.
I couldn't watch the whole thing,
dude. That
like,
it's.
I couldn't watch the whole thing, dude.
It's tough. It's tough.
The only tough, like this dude.
No,
oh my god, what was his name?
Tough. It's tough to watch.
Yeah,
like it's like.
What was his name?
I don't remember his name, but there's just this thing going on in my head. It's just like
he makes noises.
Yeah, he just says things. He soils himself and stuff, but like he has like I think like a sister and like a brother.
Yeah,
and like a caretaker and shit. It's just these weird emotions, cause my brain is trying to compute it, but I literally felt like I was short circuiting watching.
Yeah, me too.
I was like this. No.
And that dude had so much to say because when he mentioned his brother or whatever, he pointed to the ground like,
yeah.
And I was like, fuck, I just want to see the stories.
They're like, it's like something incest. It's like a double. It's basically a set of girls and a set of guys. They got together, and obviously they each had kids. And their kids
had kids.
Kids. So they were like doubly incestual. Mm-hmm. So like the poor children, they multiplied and no, it was very tough. Like, yeah, that was tough to watch. I'll put a link. I'll put a small clip because wow.
We might get taken off YouTube.
Yeah. I think I'll just put the link.
Yeah,
I'll just put the link so you guys can see it because it was just like
it was, and he has very interesting interviews and a lot of interviews with addicts. There was another tough one I couldn't watch. Interview with a spice addict, which is the K2.
Spice?
Yeah, it's the K2.
What can I think of that? What's that? The K2?
K2 was that synthetic
weed, right? Yeah.
Like just her face.
For doing K2?
I don't know if it was K. No, she had way bigger problems than the K2.
Oh.
It's just, I think that was just the latest thing that she was addicted to. I honestly could not.
Damn.
Like, that person was not all right. Meaning, they were just not up. Like, there was something mentally. And it's very tough for me to say, but there was something mentally off with that person. Like, she said how she was being abused and stuff like that. And, you know, I understand that could really reduce somebody to feeling like not humane and not even human. But it was just very hard. Like, his interviews are very powerful
Yeah,
and very eye-opening, and it's
that's a
like
good description.
it really makes me appreciate my parents a lot more, my fiance a lot more, you a lot more, because, you know, I'm very happy that I can have normal conversation like this. I think that those people were. That was one of the very few times that I had those type of conversations, and it's just like that soft white underbelly, right? That's
That's what you said.
that's that channel is just something, man. It is really moving, and it really makes you, or at least it made me appreciate who I am, who I have become, why I have, and it gave me actually the fire to even be better and be like, because that's my little hell, you know, like, and
Right.
not to say that there's something wrong with those people, because they had completely different experiences than what I had.
Right. Their upbringing was something
Yeah.
else entirely.
Correct. But it was like, oh, that's who I don't want to become. I don't want to make those people.
Right.
Because those
Yeah.
people were made. They were not just born. I mean,
No. Yeah.
like, but you're not going to see that shit. And you know what? Like, again, we also live in a society. We also live in a society where everybody's fed by minute information. Like, they don't have the initiative to go and research. And those that do are very far and few in between. And for me, that's a very, because back in the day when I was in my early to mid 20s, I thought that I have to be the best in everything that I do. Like, oh, I have to be the best snowboarder. I have to be that. And like, I would watch snowboarding videos, and these kids would like do things in the air. Like, they would jump, and I was like, yeah, I want to do that. And then I realized how hard it was, and I'm like, okay, well, maybe that's not what I want to do, but I was envious. And that was very interesting, because that envy made me feel unworthy sometimes, unworthy of being good at something else. Like, oh, if this idiot can do it, and like, a lot of the athletes that I used to follow back in the day were not exactly good at anything else, right? But they were great skateboarders, they were great snowboarders, they were great footballers.
Right. Like they were good at that one specific thing.
Yeah. And then I would go and I would watch like a stock trader, and then I'm like, no, I want to be like him, and it's just like I kept on putting that pressure on myself to be the best in everything that I was interested.
Right.
But then, in my 30s, in my 30 to 32, I started realizing that, oh, but this is not possible. I'm like, I just don't have the fucking time. Like, to put it into terms that everybody could relate to, I was trying to be Da Vinci. And even fucking Da Vinci wasn't good at a lot of stuff. He was really smart and really capable at certain stuff. Engineering, painting, writing, politics. But not much else. I've never heard of Da Vinci being a good father. Like, have you?
He was a terrible cook.
Like, yeah, no.
Richie didn't know how to fucking clean a diaper.
Yeah, like, where's the Da Vinci cookbook? So,
Oh man.
and in my mid-30s.
How did he dance?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, no, focus is it's so important. Like once you like focus on a thing that maybe not even that you're necessarily good at or consider to be good at, but something that you enjoy and you just do the hell out of it.
Oh, you can improve
then,
so much.
Yeah.
And from that comes confidence.
Right. At least just be confident in that trait, and that's it. And that's a very good point that you bring up, because I can definitely relate to that shit, man. It's like, no, I can do this. I can do this, and it's also that mentality of infinite time, fucking being invincible. You can do anything. That's like yes and no, but you need to focus on a thing. You could probably, like I said, you could just focus on one thing and then just work on it and then get better. But like if you just put a little bit of yourself on 20 things, ain't none of them getting
Actually,
done.
I never fell into that trap. I never fell into the time trap, and I never fell into the
time
invisibility.
trap?
Yeah, that I have the infinite time to do stuff, and I also never fell into the trap of
And it was
invisibility. It is definitely a trap.
a trap.
Because okay, I did go out street racing. I did do certain stuff, but I went in knowing full on my capabilities. Even when I was snowboarding, I was trying to do, the little tricks, the pipes, like, jumping. I started jumping. I learned how to jump a little bit. I read, I watched tutorial videos. I got a trainer. I got a snowboarding teacher, and he showed me shit how to do. And, I tried to do those my best at, but I never was like looking down, let's say, or going down a very tough ski slope and be like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna book it. I'm gonna do, because I've seen those type of people, and they some of them made it, some of them did not make it. Where they would think that, oh, this is my skill level, but I'm trying to do this. And I'm invincible. Even if I fail at it, there'll be no physical consequences. I actually knew a person like that. You know him too, Arthur.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
And like that motherfucker is broken in half, like, or was, like, his hands were broken and all that shit. So, I mean, like, I never went, like, I was like, I want to, if this is my skill level, I'm gonna try this, but I'm gonna try it in a safe environment, and then I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna, once my skills in a safe environment become here, then I'm gonna try it in the real world, right? Like I was never, maybe because I switched between a few sports when I was younger. Like I started off with swimming, then I went to basketball, then I went to soccer. No, I started off with swimming, then I went to ping pong or table tennis. Then I went from table tennis to basketball to soccer. I was a damn fucking good goalie too. And
That was my favorite position too.
oh, it's the best position. The best position.
I love jumping sideways.
You know what I love
Sideways, I would
goalie?
jump.
You know what I love goalie, and not
Press it
anything else?
Why? Cause no running.
No,
Lazy fuck.
heading the ball.
Oh,
Heading the ball actually made my brain hurt. And then later on, now
For
when
real?
City, dude, it was like,
you build up. You gotta you build up the strength.
nope, that's not it.
Yeah, I mean that's what happened to me. Well, then again, my hair kept growing, so I think that must have helped.
So and then now you read the CT reports of footballers, right? When I say footballers, people that play soccer, and then they get CTE from hitting the ball, and it's that part of the brain. I didn't know it back then, but it was like, dude, there were a few times that I headed the ball, and I'm like, I don't understand what the fuck my brain hurts.
How many times did you hit the ball with your head? I feel like when I would play soccer, I don't know, maybe in a game, maybe 3 times, if that.
Yeah, and then in practice, like another like 10 times, and that was it for me.
Yeah, I mean, like the warm ups, you just go, when you like bounce it back and forth and stuff.
Yeah, that creates
I never
CTE,
got
bro.
that. Yeah, that's interesting.
That creates CTE, and like they explained that, like, because there's this part of the brain that's like a little like the part of your throat that dangles. They, like, your brain has that part.
Yeah.
So every time you hit the ball, that gets damaged. And that's why I was like
I had no idea that was a thing with, like, especially soccer. Like,
yeah. A lot of footballers actually have CTE. A lot of soccer players have CTE from hitting the ball, and then you see them playing, for fun, and I'm like, and they're going at it because they, like, in Manchester City, you have Amazon Prime, right? So watch All or Nothing Manchester City. They will show you that they have. I'm telling you, it's Zinfandels.
It's my new babies.
They're not, they're not as complex. So it's not as complex as like Cabernet, or if you want to go old world wines.
Oh, I would
Valpolicella and like Barolo.
I'd say it is. It's like, because they're like fruity, but dry, with like fruity tannins. And it's
nice.
It's yum. It's yum.
Like that was really good choice of wine, but a lot of footballers have that CTE, and dude, it just hurt my brain. And as a goalie, I never had to do that. I never had to worry about hitting the ball and scoring, all that shit. And I was like, this is cool. And then I was really good at it. Like, that was also another thing that was like, yeah, I'm really good at that.
Yeah.
So I'm actually, but yeah, like, and after I realized about my capabilities, and I started thinking about how people govern themselves, I was like, oh, because in the beginning it was very interesting for me, politics, because it made no sense. And like the more I started understanding it, the more nonsense was still making, but then I started understanding people. I'm like, oh yeah, people vote on party lines for a reason. And another thing, last podcast we talked about New York City allowing immigrants or undocumented immigrants to vote. And for me, that was, now I actually thought about it a little bit more. And I think that's going to actually hurt the Democratic Party, because, like it or not, most of the immigrants that come over here, they come in with their own values. Most of those values are conservative. Like
what?
I mean, for example, that might be a little bit weird, but women's rights, right? Like, in my building, there used to be these 2 or 3 Indian families. I think there were only 2 Indian families. It was a very interesting building because out of the, let's say, 30 apartments, 25 of them were Bulgarian families. One was Irish, one was black, 2 Indians on the first floor.
Symbols David's what they call them.
Yeah, for real. And then, those women, like, and then when I moved to the other part of the Bronx, by Stillwell Avenue, there was these Afghani / Middle Eastern people. And Roman and I would go around the block and smoke joints. And, there were two young ladies from that family. And,
How long ago was this?
2014, 2015. They're still there, by the way. They're fucking loaded. I don't know how they got their money, and I really don't care. They have their money, good for them. But, dude, like, just the cars alone on their driveway are worth anywhere between 200,000 to 400,000.
Do you think they're not that loaded, but they just wanted those cars?
No, because the house is worth alone is like the house is over $1 million.
Oh wait, hold on. What are you talking about?
Still in the Bronx.
Oh, this was a house in the Bronx.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That neighborhood, like right now, you cannot find a house under 1.5.
You say in the Bronx? I was thinking about where you used to live.
Oh no. That was after I started at my current employer. After I had money, after I had moved out. I don't think maybe you came to that spot.
Oh, where you live with Alex? Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Oh, that spot.
Yeah,
bro.
So the house,
I always forget that you lived there.
Yeah,
I always forget that shit.
So the house, right, like when you were walking in, the house to the right is the house that I'm talking about.
Maybe they own a couple of businesses.
Possibly. Yeah. Like I'm not saying their money is foul. I'm saying that they were very conservative people. To the point, like it was funny because
do you think they voted for Trump?
I don't think they. Yeah, probably. Like, if they were party line people, probably they voted for Trump.
You said they were Indian.
They were Middle Eastern. They were not Indian. Indians were. The Indian people lived in 3144 Decatur, and that was before you and I met.
I'll edit this part too. Tell the people where the other people's address.
I don't live there no more. Neither do they.
Oh, all right.
That building has changed totally, bro. Like now they have Section 8 and shit. Before, because it was owned by an
Don't
Albanian.
bother nobody.
Yeah. Like.
Yeah.
Oh God, they're gonna go there and vote people. Dude, only 2 families out of the whole fucking building that when I used to live there now. Everybody else fucking worked really hard and moved the fuck out.
Gotta get out,
dude. Yeah. Like also I was talking to my friend about it, and because she grew up a few blocks away from me, but she stayed over there only for like 2 years. And then they moved to Jersey. And I was like, no, you don't understand. The ghetto is really good because the ghetto makes you learn how to be uncomfortable in a social setting. Mm-hmm. Really Symbol David.
Yeah. Symbol David.
Makes you learn how to be uncomfortable in a social setting, how to be yourself in a social setting, and still be able to communicate, still be able to not offend anybody, to understand their point of view. But about a few years back, when I went back to the Bronx, right, and like I just started hanging out with people I haven't hung out in a while, I was like, oh, the ghetto is also very harmful if you're not the type of person that I am. I was very privileged, and that is, I wouldn't call it white privilege, but I was privileged that my mother got a job back in the day, 2004 or so, that was paying her $55,000 a year. I can remember that. That was like big money back then. And for a few months, she got it only for a few months, but during those months, we were able to save for a car, and we bought a car. We bought a Toyota Camry, a blue Toyota Camry. And when we bought that car, and I worked in Yonkers also at the same time, so I actually I was able to move around neighborhoods, and I used to be able to dream. Because, when you're a broke kid, what the fuck you do? You go to the city, get drunk. But most of my friends went to like St. Mark's and shit like that, I would go get drunk down on Wall Street. And be like, that's where I want to be. I couldn't understand why.
Why did you go to drink in Wall Street? But that's where you chose to go, or that's where your peoples were?
No, that's where I chose to go. That's where I chose to go. My people were in St. Mark's. Like, to them, that was the place, because you can go to the Continental. That was like $2 shots. There were like a few other bars around there. Like, I think Blockheads.
Yeah, St. Mark's was a shit.
Yeah. No, it was not. It was a shithole.
It was a fun shithole.
Yes.
I had plenty of fun at St. Mark's. So.
Yeah. Me too. But it was still a shithole.
Yeah.
Now you go down to Wall Street, and you can still find like little dive bars that were like super cheap, and they didn't ID you. But Wall Street was like, you saw the big building, you saw the motherfuckers in the suit, and you saw their behavior. And their behavior was completely different. And recently, a dude, I don't know the rapper's name. I wish I knew, because I have to find the interview. But he was like, he goes, it's really easy to squeeze the trigger. He goes, it's really easy to take a life away. He goes, that's childish bullshit. He goes, he said, and after that he said, it takes a real man to take your mama out of the hood. And I heard it a few months ago, and that resonated, and I wasn't, not that I wanted to leave the hood, but I was curious of how the other people lived. And Wall Street and down in Tribeca and all that stuff kind of was a very easy access for me, because you just jump on the 4 train, you fucking get off at either Fulton Street or Brooklyn Bridge or all that stuff, and you're right there in the midst of it. And a completely different type of people. You go to Riverdale, completely different type of people. Then we got the car. Peter and I used to go around street racing, right? So, and back then, fucking, what was it, $1.24 a gallon, something like that. Like, I remember filling up for 99 cents.
It wasn't no $5.
Huh?
It wasn't no $5. How much is it by you?
Where?
Gas.
Now? I don't know. I haven't filled up in since a week something.
You haven't filled it up? You just been at home? That's nice.
Last time, actually no, because we went to do car shopping Saturday for 11 gallons, I paid $57. So, but again, I mean,
Yeah.
it is what it is. Like,
Yeah, that's not what I was.
I much rather spend $1 more than give Putin any more of my money currently. Maybe in 5 years that's gonna change, but I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Always come back. It all comes back.
people don't understand that actually voting with your money is the best thing you can ever do for yourself, for who you want to be, for who, or for how you want to change the world. And, to tie that back to politics, I think that this whole bullshit of pushing electric cars by 2035 and shit like that, it's just unsustainable. Unless we figure out some new battery technology. Because right now, the latest and greatest battery technology we have, right, for daily use, is still lithium batteries. Okay, where the fuck are you going to get that lithium from? Mexico has some lithium.
Right.
But where's the rest? Like,
I mean,
that's what I say. Like,
Yeah,
politicians
maybe.
like to fucking say shit, and they don't tell you how they're gonna do it, and then idiots, well, not idiots, but
maybe they have a way. Maybe they have a new battery.
where?
I don't know.
Show me one battery that's fucking
Come on,
sustainable. Sustainable way you can go to the store, buy it, and it will keep your projector charged for like consistent use for like, let's say, 3 days, 36 hours, not even 3 days. Yeah, let's say 3 days, 72 hours of consistent use. Buy a new battery, That's not lithium ion.
Wait, hold on. You saying you gotta buy a new battery every 3 days?
No, no, no. I'm saying that show me a battery that can keep a projector running or a phone running for 3 days of moderate use that's not lithium ion battery. You don't have that. And
I mean, I haven't looked into this, but I am curious if maybe something is already in the works. Maybe somebody's already working on this. If it's a problem like this, you know.
it is a problem like that. There's some people working on it, but it's just some people. It's not everybody. Not people not pouring resources. Politicians are not pouring resources into it. It's not like there's a contest. There's a contest of you figuring out brand new battery technology, and the winner will get this brand new government contract that will feed you for like the next 100 years. Not 100 years, but the next 30 years. Because,
come on, Elon Musk.
yeah, no, he doesn't pay enough taxes. Remember?
Yeah.
So,
But he's also he did also step in for what did he say that they can use his for the
Starlink?
ISS for the ISS because apparently in case Russia threatens the ISS or like the astronauts getting off, apparently Elon was like, I got you guys, you can use my rockets to get them back, you know. So
I'm cool with that.
yeah, so it sounds like renewable energy is the answer. It's just the resources need to be put towards them, because ultimately, I feel like if we had that fucking that if we, like you said, like if we were energy independent, and that's a huge ass step. Like even like we've said, like fucking nuclear energy. I think that the solutions, being the U.S., I think that they're so tangible that we can actually achieve these things. It's just that we, like you said, the resources are not being placed in the right place. But I think that we have the capabilities of moving forward in a more, quote, progressive manner.
So, yes, but what if there's actually the thing that you have right now could be cleaned? So,
don't say clean coal, bro.
No. But let's say this. Let's say we have, right, CO2, greenhouse gases, big time. But now, because we have used gasoline for so long, and because it was such a finite source, people actually figured out how to make petroleum out of amoebas and other stuff. I think they did that in Spain. There's like a company that does that now consistently. So here's the issue. You can make the gas from plankton and shit like that, but it creates CO2. Okay. Do we have the technology to capture CO2? Like a big-ass fucking giant filter. We do. It's actually very capable of you doing that. And you can build that. And, I mean, basically it's a giant air filter. That's exactly what it is. Like, no two ways around it. Giant motherfucking ass filter. So...
Wait, where do you put this filter? Like,
we're going to build it. I would prefer it to be portable, right? Like, so let's say something like the size of the Titanic, that it can move from state to state, and you build the infrastructure for it.
I'm thinking of like, how are you going to fuel it?
So like nuclear power, man.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, okay. Like, but you know, it's just like it's and that's what I say. Like the average person doesn't have the time to research those issues because they don't care. They just hear better air. This is gonna be better. This is this, and that's how we're gonna do it. And they just sign up automatically for that without even thinking it through a little bit. Because what people don't understand, and that has happened already on Earth. global warming is a dangerous thing, right?
Yeah.
What's more dangerous is global cooling. Now, back in the day, and
I just laugh because for some dumb reason I just picture like a cooling. I just picture this like really cool jazz guy with shades. I don't know, but
he's like, I'm just cooling out.
it's just like, oh yeah, that's right. There's nothing more dangerous than that shit. Now, look at that motherfucker.
Right?
It's like he's like holding one of those upright bases.
So, way back when, before even humanity existed, the Earth was covered in ice for a good chunk period of time. You know what the issue with ice is? Once it gets hold of the Earth, it's very, very, very hard to warm it up again because it reflects light. And if you don't have those pollutants in the atmosphere to trap the heat in, the rays will just bounce off. What saved the Earth is that the Earth still had a very active core. Mm-hmm. So even though there was like a thick ice barrier on top of it, like underneath, there was still volcanic explosions and shit like that eventually raised the temperature enough to like break shit up, right? Or break the ice up. But dude,
Oh, that's cool.
once ice takes over, let's say we bring the polar caps down to glacier time.
Yeah. No. I mean that's a good point. But I think I think global. I think if the sun needs to be turned off in order for that to be a problem. Well, not really. I'm exaggerating, but like I think that cooling. That's even. Oh, that looks so cool, man. The smoke.
Oh.
It just looks fucking awesome. Yeah, I mean, there's cooling is worse than warming, but I just think that I think and you would agree that warming is the right now.
Yeah, warming is
Dude,
the right now.
I'm so baked because this smoke looks awesome.
All right, and on that bombshell,
Yeah.
thank you for joining for another episode.
Thank you.
We'll put on our pictures. We'll put on the link to Soft Belly. We'll actually put it off.
Belly.
Soft white underbelly. We're gonna put it the link underneath in the about section or in the description of the video. Thank you for joining once again, and stay tuned for the end of the episode to see when we're gonna drop our next episode.
Peace. It's so funny. I just said peace, and I expected the music to start playing.